Welcome to Soft Hands Garage, where you get to watch a computer expert turn wrenches in a desperate attempt to keep his junk running. That's pretty much what's happening with this one. I got a heck of a variety show for you. I got 3 of my vehicles that I do something to. So I didn't get a whole lot done, but some of it got done, some of it didn't. Anyway, enjoy it. We'll see you at the end. All right, a little more work on the Chevy here. Pulled the door card off because we've got an issue with the window roller up or downer here. We found 2 of these in the glove box, and they're busted, all busted up. So I took it apart, assuming we're just needing oiled up, but found another issue. It rolled up and down just fine. As far as you could tell by using a vice grip on it. I wrapped a hose clamp around it so that I'm not gumming up the splines on it, because once you do that, you're got real problems, and they weren't. Dad never did use vice grips on it or anything. Once it stopped working, he just quit using the window apparently. So what was happening was, as you would roll it down, the window at the bottom was coming out of the track. And so when we roll it back up, there was enough resistance right as it would pop back into the track that's probably where it was breaking the handle. So, I started looking at it, trying to figure out what the deal was with it, thinking I had to bend the track down here at the bottom in order to keep it in. But turns out all it was, I noticed that this was missing the track rubber piece in the track here. And so I just took a USB cable and jammed it in there, rolled the window down, and it stayed in the track. So then I had this household window sealer stuff, a roll of that sitting around. So I put that in there, and sure enough, that keeps it in the track, rolling her up and down. So if you have that, and the odd thing, I didn't think this was it at first, because it ends up out of the track, just like that much out of the track. And I thought, how could that little strip be what's causing it? But it just keeps it from ever exiting the track. Once it's out of the track, it'd go all over the place. That's why it was such a wide gap. But anyway, that took care of it. And you can see down in here, maybe you can make that out, that the window is actually in the track all the way to the bottom. So that was the fix for that. Now I can replace this. This will be temporary, just I can use the window without wrecking things. I'll leave the door card off and everything, but I'll get some new window track for that. Finish cleaning this all up in here, and put the door card back on, get a new handle, and we're golden. There's why this door panel is so hard to get off and on. It's made in Canada. A metric door panel on my American truck. Oh well, it works. Not sure if you can make out the difference here, but I did some cleaning on the passenger side door card since I got it off. And I think she turned out pretty good. Kind of like newish. And you really can't get the sense of the dingy on this, I don't think, without being here in person. But that's even cleaned. We cleaned that. Just sprayed it and cleaned it off. But that's with a toothbrush, simple green, and then I don't know, what did I use? Meguiar's, I think. Yeah, McGuire's. Which, you know, it's okay, but I'll probably get something better for this old plastic. Can't really make it out, but this is really dry on top here, especially, of course, as they usually are. And it did pretty decent, and it brought it back around a bit, where you have to look pretty close to see how dry it is, which is pretty awesome. So, doing some stuff. I also waxed it. Look at the shine on that. Just for the heck of it, might as well protect what's there till we get to doing whatever we're going to do to it. Well, this is familiar. Just on a different vehicle. Ah, wrong direction. Let's see what we got. Interesting. Some are nuts, some are... Oh. They're all nuts. Nuts and studs. That's interesting. A little different. Some are coming out of the hub and some are hanging in there. Neat. Oh, we got these screws on here too. Oh, it doesn't come off the hub like the other one. Oh, I didn't need to take those off at all. By golly. Well, I don't know if I want to take that off. Just used to doing it now. Okay, anywho. Yeah, we got some thin pads in here. No idea what we're looking at with the cylinders. I don't know. I think I need to replace the pads. At least. I'm going to guess the cylinder's no good too, but you never know. Oh, nice smooth drum. That's nice. Oh, that's a Black Widow egg in there, so that's cool. Well, I can get these off without doing any of this stuff, so I think I'm going to do that. Kind of curious though. I don't know. Maybe I'll pull this off. Imagine I got it locked in the differential though. I don't know if these are floaters or not. If I got wheel bearings that I need to grease. I don't know. I'm going to have to look all that up. It's interesting. Anywho, there's that, and take that apart, I guess, and get it cleaned up. And this is a restore job, so I'm going to get it all cleaned up anyway, and paint it all and all that stuff, and replace these pads. All right, cool. Oh, look at, I got a drip. Oh, I got some gear oil. So it's probably a floater, half floater, something like that, semi-float. Cool. All right, so here's the story on this one. While I was in Texas, I have the wife take the car to Fagerberg's, Casa Grande. These are the guys for alignment. These tires were wearing about 3/4 of an inch near to steel belts. The rest of the tire still under warranty. Clearly I've got an issue with alignment. These guys are awesome. take all my stuff there. They're actual mechanics, not just part swappers. I tried to throw them a curveball one time with the T-Bird. Had a guy rebuilding the steering column on the T-Bird, and when I pick it up, he says, you know, you need an alignment pretty bad. And I said, yeah. You know, they were towed in like a snow plow. Just, they would push. You could hear it pulling into a parking spot. So yeah, I know I need it. He says, well, when you get it in there, have them give me a call. I'll tell them these things about it. Takes these particular shims, all this stuff. I'll send them to you, whatever. I said, cool. So I go into Fagerberg's, and I asked him, I said, hey, I got a 65 T-Bird. Can you do an alignment on that? And he says, well, does it have 4 wheels? Yes, sir. All right. Well, no problem then. And sure enough, took it in 30 minutes later. It was perfect. Been great since then. Anyways, come out of it with this one, and they said we can't align it. Struts are no good on the front, and the rear, so I won't take an alignment on the front because the struts are bad. The rear, there is no camber adjustment, and it's out of camber. So that just means got to be your shocks. So I got shocks and struts is on the list. Well, the first thing I did was look up the cost of the set of struts, and for the pair, I can get them for $200, pretty much the common price for it. So step 2 is to get on the YouTube and see what I'm getting myself into, right? Because frankly, not everything is something I want to do. Sometimes it's worth just having the mechanics do it. The first video that pops up is 12-year-old girl replaces struts on 2007 Buick Lucerne. Mine's 2008, so that's probably all the difference, right? You couldn't have a 12-year-old girl do the 2008 struts on Buick Lucerne. So I'm stuck doing them. There's nothing, I'm shamed into it immediately. I didn't even watch the video, and I'm like, that's it. I guess I'm doing them. I didn't even get an estimate from the mechanics on what it would be to do it, but after that video, I was like, yeah, don't even ask them. It's fine. I'm doing them. Don't really feel like it. I got strep or some kind of throat infection going on right now, and I got 2 weeks until we're driving this thing to Texas. So this is it. This is my opportunity right now. Is all I got to get this done. So not feeling it, ain't gonna cut it. I gotta do it. What I'm trying to say is be careful with the internet. It'll talk you into things you don't want to do. Also gonna address this little annoying issue here. That one's if you can make it out on here, but I got zip ties. That's a metal zip tie. When we got it, this was flopping down. I managed to get it up in there where it's supposed to go and zip tied it. And the thing is just low enough. It's just perfect to drag off of every single, I don't care what the height is on the curbs and the bumpers and stuff. It just pulls and it just keeps. The metal one lasted, like 3 weeks, but it's, we're going to do a little customization and resolve that issue. And then get these struts done. And if the shocks should be in today, if I get the shocks in, I don't know, might be able to do struts and the shocks today, but we'll see how it goes. Here we go. All right, so look, real quick, here's all there is to this, right? You got these two bolts here. You got nuts on these big bolts here, there, and there. Once you get the nuts off, you got to drive these through. So take these off, take the nuts off, drive those through. Then up on the top side, you got on the shock tower, the 3 bolts up here. Okay, so you got a total of, what is that, 7 bolts that you got to undo. Also, as per the young lady, you pull your little sensor thingamajigger out here, so then put it out of the way, tuck it out of the way so it doesn't get busted while you're doing swinging and swaying, because that thing is a monster. But I'm just going to tell you, if you're watching this as a how-to, just stop now and go look up the 12-year-old girl doing the 2007 Buick Lucerne struts. I'm telling you, it's worth it. She's awesome. She does a great job with it. She wrestles that thing. It probably weighs more than she does, getting that thing in there and out of there and stuff. And she does it all herself. And so if she can do it, you can do it. Hopefully I can do it. We'll see. But I'm just going to put this thing on fast speed to get through. Just, look, like I said, go watch hers for the how-to. It'll be every bit worth it. And if I'll stop and slow it down if I run into any weirdness or any problems or whatever. Enjoy the music that I'll find. I'm sure is going to be really, really entertaining as well. Now, one thing I didn't do, which I should have known better by now, is check the parts out before I get to going. Too far here anyway. There's a lot of options in the $200 range for these struts. And, so I just go through the reviews and stuff on them. And this set, there was a set around $220 that had a lot of reviews, but they were all of the negative. I mean, it was like a really good strut, but the negatives was the ride height that changed. This didn't have any of that, but it didn't have that many reviews either. It only had like 20 reviews or something. So nothing negative really, like shipping or something like that or whatever. I did avoid the one that was talking about how this part of the strut came apart, shot out through the top, and started jamming up on his hood, bashing into his head as he drove. That one I did avoid. This one didn't have anything quite as nasty to say about it, and it was I don't remember, $180 or something, maybe 200 shipped. I'll post it and then I'll review it later. Strut Tech, that's from Auto Shack, but I'll review it later, after a Texas trip or something like that, give you kind of an update on how it rode and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it looks like everything is there that I need. It appears to be the right item. So I won't know for sure until I get it out, the old one out and the new one, this one put in there. But so far so good, so I'm gonna keep going. All right, one deviation from the gals video is I got a couple of jack stands under here. There's quite a bit of metal on this thing. I'm fairly impressed. Usually I struggle just finding a jack point on them that isn't a hunk of plastic. But anyways, I got a couple of jack stands so that I could get my jack out here, and it takes quite a bit of beating with the Tanya on these bolts, which, you know, I was wondering why we didn't have the nuts on there, but they're actually made for beatings. We got that, no threads out here. You know, it's just a pounding on it type bolt. They know it's coming, and it probably will, and this probably won't have any real effect, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to take a little of the control arm weight off of it and see if maybe bolt will come out of there any easier. Yeah, probably not, but I'm going to try it. Come on. There we go. So that was working against me, obviously. All right. Well, that part's done. Now, we just got to come to the top side. Okay, and you got your 3 bolts up here. There is the older one. All right, one quick last once over before trying to jam it in there. Verifying everything looks pretty similar. Well, that looks good. You know, fine. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this looks like it was supposed to be going down like this one is. You can see the difference there. Where this is now, the spring is way up here at a completely different angle. Well, that'd be cool. That for sure, that kind of difference is why you would wear the last inch of your tire out, I would say. That would be a good reason if that's the case. That is for sure needing replaced if that's what's going on here. Wow, cool. Good to see that. Well, I just hope it goes in right. Maybe it's not that it's wrong, that it's crushed and bad, but that this one's is going to just fight the heck out of me to get it back in there. Oh, by the way, this says on it here, strut mount can rotate and could go to either side of the vehicle. So there's no left, right. Put it on either side. So, alrighty, here we go. By the way, these plastic pieces here are basically indexers. So when you get it up underneath there, they go into the holes that they go in, so that it helps you align everything and get where you can get the bolts in without having to, you know, constantly fight and move the thing. Okay, something's done anyway. All right, top side, I got 2 of them started. This third one's still a little bit away from the bottom, from the shock here. Oofta. So that's gotta come out a little bit, which I may need this aligned up a little bit better before I carry on with it. Okay, I got those in there. Just in, you know, somewhat finger tight-ish, as the gal was telling you in her video. And then I assume that's so you got a little bit of an adjustment here for getting these pins back in here. So that's where we're going. All right, I know primarily the issue is these splines on here is why it's intended to be as tough as it is getting it up and on. But there was a little corrosion on these as well. No point in you know, fighting against yourself. So I cleaned them up, wire brushed them a little bit and such. Okay, this is gonna be fun, I'm sure. Get the angles and the whatnots right here. I might. What can I do? What do you think I could do here? Anything? I could push up on the shock. It'd be helpful, I think. How else do you do it? Something like that, maybe. Possibly close to. Up. Funky angles going on here. Too much. Too far. Theoretically, putting the nut on will draw this up. I think I'm kind of sick of pounding, so that's where we're going next. Okay, Torque time. All right, so this is the problem with this is the bolt, right, in the original strut, this was threaded. There's no threads in there. So I can't really have to look at that, but I gotta go get a nut, a bolt and a nut, because this isn't gonna be long enough to do that, so. Oh well, I read something about, one of the reviews was like, it doesn't come with this new hardware, whatever. And I think this probably is what they were talking about. So, not a big deal. I'll go get that from the hardware store. These aren't like grade 10 bolts or something. So, no big deal. I'll just go get those. Got this plugged back in and tighten the old bolts up top. So, according to the gal, that should do it. And put the wheel back on. We're done. All right, next side. I probably won't film it. Just gonna listen to some music and try to relax. It's hot and I'm sick and we're just not gonna have that much fun, but it'll get done. I should have done this before changing this one out. But it'll be pretty close with the other one, still the old one. So we're just over about 30¼ inches. And this is 29¼ inches. So we gained about an inch by putting that one in there. That's not bad. That shouldn't make a whole lot of difference feel-wise and stuff. So plus the rears are going to go up probably about that too, I would guess. And I will measure those before I start the rear shocks to get a gooder estimate. Well, one thing was missing from the gal thing, and I just kept keeping an eye on these indexers, and I was like, man, they aren't as high as they were on the one I just took out. So I got them out and I was looking at it and I went, oh, hey, this has this on it. This is rubber, quiet, I'm sure, so it doesn't squeak. This one looks like it had something on it. And sure enough, I reached up under there and there's this cork seal stuff that's kind of like glued to the top. So I have the rubber piece and the cork still in that one. So I have this additional thickness of this cork here. But I mean, not taking it apart for that. So I don't know. I guess if I die, I die. But that's staying in there. I can't imagine it's anything more than, it's going to throw off the ride height on one side is going to be that much thicker, which can be made up, I'm sure, with the alignment. So it is what it is because it's in there now. I'm not taking it apart for that. But just know that that's the case with these. If you're watching it, warning, the gals didn't have it or she did it off camera or something, because I did not see that and didn't even think about it. My fault. I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying. Keep an eye out for that. All right, all done with those. Now onto the rear shocks. They aren't in yet, but part of the deal is you got to take the carpet out of the trunk, so it's time to clean that out, I guess, anyway. So we're going to do that, get all the junk out. All right, once that's clear, you just pull these rubber caps off. And I didn't need to take all the carpet out. They kind of indicated taking it all out. Now you just pull those sides out. That's fine. Plenty. And then here, again, they're talking about disconnecting the negative battery cable, but honestly, what you're trying to accomplish here is disabling the compressor. So these two fuses here accomplish that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready for them. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and pull one of the wheels off. I got this thing at Lowe's for 10 bucks. You know, just kind of keep it in the doorway, spraying some mist. Cools it off right in here a little bit. All right, well, here's the shock. And this was the boot. He was concerned with the boot, you know, being obviously having some issues here. I don't know, that's not even cut all the way through. This is just the suspect issue right now. Not that it's a for sure thing, unfortunately. And I'm not real sure how you know for sure it is. But I'm not pulling it until I get the new shock in. Obviously, I've got to make sure it's the right thing before I do. It's pretty simple. It's going to be 2 bolts down here. Of course, I got to get underneath, so it's going to have to come up a little higher. And then, oh yeah. And that was the other thing, is I don't think the new kit does come with, this is the one that didn't come with a nut. And it's just these clips on here that it runs into, which is really weird to me. But if those break, then I got nothing, and I'm gonna have to go get something from the hardware store. But those are little skinny bolts with a, you know, piece of tin holding it on here, the clip. Interesting. Anyway, and then I think it's 2 bolts up in the top, the shock tower, and the hose has to come off. All right, I just zipped those off with, I jacked it up high enough to get under there with the impact, so just zipped right out. Oh, I need a deep sock. And then the phone overheated and the camera quit. So that was the end of the video on that, but it all went real well. It was easy. You know, the process is simple on both those front struts and the shocks, rear shocks there, but you know, labor intensive, but got it done. Everything worked real well. Those are Monroes in the rear. They're not, you know, real name brand struts in the front, and I know that's kind of dangerous, but I did some reviews and checked them out, and they should be pretty good. Hopefully. You never know what you're getting, but so then we took it to get it aligned on Monday. Here's the result. Beauty up front. Took an alignment, no problems. She's red in the back. Actually got worse. Putting the new shocks on. Completely unrelated to the shocks. I mean, they, you know, diagnosed, you know, off the cuff, basically, this looks like probably is the problem. So one of those things where you replace parts and then find out that that's not actually the issue, and you go on to the next thing. And it is for sure the bushings for the control arm, which I'm real familiar with, but I don't have the shop equipment to get that done in the time frame that we need here. One thing that's interesting about that is that you can't get parts for it either. 2008, 15-year-old vehicles, no parts. You used to have to get them from the dealer, apparently, which was already kind of ridiculous. But now you can't even get them at the dealer. They don't make them. They're no longer available. And they wanted the whole control arm just to save in labor costs because, you know, I know how those bushings can be. So anyways, you can't get the control arm. They had to actually, the mechanic went on eBay and found a brand new set of bushings. So, you know, look, I don't care how hard you push me. I'm not buying an electric vehicle. So, yeah, I don't know what I got to do to stay in the combustion engine, but I'm going to do it. Hopefully, can last another 15 years or so. Is probably all I got left anyway. So, if I can do that, it's all I'm asking. You know, just give me 15 years worth of combustion and then do what you want with the electric. I don't care, but I don't want any of it. So those are actually in hand now. That was Monday. Today's Friday. Next Monday, they're going to put them in and be able to get the alignment done just in time for us to leave on Friday to go to Texas for a long haul. So, but it'll all be good. Everything else checks out real good. But I'm going to go ahead and get back to the brakes on the GMC so we get a little bit of that at the end of the video here. All right, let's get to her. Seriously, no kidding around. Those are Black Widow eggs. I'm sure they're gone by now, though. This has been open for a week or two. I'm going to take this thing apart, and then I'm going to clean the shop. I can't do it anymore. This is ridiculous. Half my toolbox is pretty much under the stool now. And the benches are, you know, not really benches per se as much as they are just a thing to hold all my crap. And I can't use them. There's no usable space left. I've done all the shoving out of the way I can. I got to get it done. So a little pause after this. I'm going to do these one side at a time again. I will order all the parts, assuming I can find them, right? That's a big assumption there. But assuming I can find parts, I'll order all the parts for both sides. But I'm just going to do one side at a time. All right, got my handy dandies here. Still kind of figuring out the best way to use them. We're trying to figure out. Oh, that's right. Forgot this is this part. Oh, I love that. This thing's sweet. Come on. There we go. And just like that. Brakes off. Yeah, hard to say, but I don't think their cylinders any good. Boy, these are, for as much brake material as is gone, it's pretty clean in here, other than the Black Widow offspring. Let's peek under here. Peek on this side so the camera's over. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure those are fine. No problems there. Yeah. I'm just gonna get new ones. A little bit pin, that's no problem. Everything's fine. Easy cleanup. Already got the line off, so it's just a matter of busting the bolts off in it and then cutting those out. No big deal. Cleaner, sprayer, brand new. Okay, well, parts all over the floor. Can't even walk around. It's just a disaster. Yeah, it's fine. It's got to happen. It's a good day for it. It's supposed to be 85 degrees. All right, got her down to yeesh. Just some cleaning now. It's, you know, needs cleaning. That is a dead bird from who knows how long ago. Yeah, she's gross. Getting there though. Well, I got her pretty cleaned up. Usable again for sure. That was as far as I got. This one's still trashed. Because pretty much as soon as I got the pinball sign turned on, I decided to go work on the pinball machine. So that's going to do it for this one. And it's probably going to be about 3 weeks before I get another one out. I don't know. I may do some shorts. I don't even know how to do that yet, but just from being in Texas and stuff, maybe working on the boat, do a little clip or something like that. But I won't have any editing software out there, so that's going to have to about do it, some kind of live thing or whatever, if I can do it. But otherwise, it'll be 3 weeks. I'll be back. I'll have some video for sure compiled to get something done. But have a good start to your summer, and we'll see you later.